Hey guys, I'm going to be turning this popcorn squishy into this crazy milkshake. Do you think this will be able to look like this? Hey guys, so today I'm going to turn my crazy clay milkshake into a squishy one. Now it's time to turn the yellow popcorn into a vanilla ice cream. I've only added to squishies before, not completely changed what it is. I got my sprinkle plate out, so I'm ready to put each sprinkle on the drips. Here is my crazy clay squishy milkshake that looks just like my crazy clay milkshake. It all started as a simple popcorn squishy, and then I turned it into a crazy clay squishy milkshake. This is my crazy clay squishy milkshake. Wave to subscribers! Yeah! Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Michelle Surge. Hey guys, so today I'm going to turn my crazy clay milkshake into a squishy one, and this is just a popcorn squishy, and it's going to look like my crazy milkshake at the end, hopefully. And this is everything I'm going to use. I already glued the ice cream scoop and the cone together, and there's a straw, lollipops, and the rest of the things I need to make my crazy milkshake. Let's see how it goes. Let's begin. First I start by getting some silver paint that looks like the jar that the crazy clay milkshake is in, and I paint a thin line at the bottom so it looks like the jar base. I carefully go all the way around and I let it dry. Now it's time to turn the yellow popcorn into a vanilla ice cream. I go all over the popcorn until it's all white. It looks so weird now. This is the first time I'm actually making a squishy change from one thing to something completely different. I've only added to squishies before, not completely changed what it is, but I can't wait to see what it looks like at the end. While I say these voiceovers, I'm actually still making the squishy, so I don't actually know what it looks like yet. I'm very excited and nervous, but I can't wait to see how it looks at the end. Then I get the handle I made out of soft air dry clay, and I draw an outline so I know where it will go. Then I outline with white paint where the dripping ice cream will be, and how long each drip is, so it matches the crazy clay milkshake. I do that all the way around the squishy. Then I get brown paint, and I paint around the rest of the area of the popcorn bucket. Now it's definitely not a popcorn squishy. Nothing is the original colour anymore. Now it's time to try and figure out how to put the white on the brown so it looks like chocolate and ice cream mixed together. I tried a few ways, but this seems to be the only way that worked. I mixed white paint and a little bit of brown paint together so it's not completely white, and I got a sponge and dabbed it on the squishy to give it this texture. I tried just using a paintbrush, but it didn't look right. This sponge seems like the best way to achieve this look. I made sure each detail looked just like the crazy clay milkshake, and I went all the way around. Now it's time to put the dripping ice cream on the crazy milkshake squishy. I got my sprinkle plate out, so I'm ready to put each sprinkle on the drips. I got the puffy paint, and I do one drip at a time. I made it the correct length, then I moved the paint a little so it was in the correct spot. Then I grabbed the correct colour of sprinkle that matched the crazy clay milkshake, and I put them one by one on the drip. I fixed it up a little and added some paint at the top, and that's the first drip done. I had to think of a way to let it set without the drip dripping too far down, so I put it on a box so the drip stayed where it needed to, and then I let the drip dry. And now I'm on to the second drip. Squishies take a long time to make because there is a lot of steps, especially if it goes all the way around. And it is a dripping ice cream milkshake squishy. I take the squishy out of the box and I give it a squeeze, and it's perfect. It still squishes and nothing falls off. I open the lid to the paint and paint goes everywhere. At least it didn't go on the squishy, but that was very close. I'm just going to ignore all the paint right there until I've done my next drip. And I put the paint on the next drip. I get the paintbrush and fix the drip up a little, then I add some more paint to the top of the drip and join the two drips up together. Now it's time to add the sprinkles to this drip, and back on the box it goes to dry. Then I go to clean the paint that went everywhere. Now for the third drip. I get the paint and carefully open it away from me, and it didn't go everywhere this time. I do the next drip. This is a very long drip. I'm worried I'm not going to have enough paint to finish all the drips, but we will have to see. I fix up the drip and connect it to the other drip at the top, and I put sprinkles on it. It would seem simple, right? But I pushed the sprinkle a little too far in, so I had to get tweezers to carefully pull out the sprinkle and put a different one in that wasn't covered in white paint. Then I let it dry. And each day I kept adding another drip or two and added sprinkles. I kept turning the clay milkshake around so I know which colour sprinkle goes on which drip. And there is the smallest drip. And now this drip is a little different. This one has a pink marshmallow on it. I didn't think about this before I did it because I forgot this drip had a marshmallow, so I just kept going. I put the drip on and the sprinkles. Then I got the marshmallow and I put it on. Then the paint moved. This marshmallow is a lot bigger than a sprinkle, so I quickly took it off, but didn't know what to do now because there is paint on the marshmallow now and I have no spare marshmallows, so I had to use it. So I put it back on and carefully balanced it. Fixed up a sprinkle, added another sprinkle above the marshmallow and quickly put it on the box so the marshmallow didn't fall, and I let it dry and it was actually fine. It set well. The next day I go to do the next drip and realize if the marshmallow was going to be hard, how am I going to put a big gummy bear on it? Let's try it and see how it goes. When making art, you have to not be afraid to try things because sometimes it will work and you didn't think it would, or it might not work, but then you will know not to try that again. I put the paint on, then some sprinkles, then carefully put the gummy bear on. It looks very big, but it did stay, and I let it dry on the box. It's the next day, and I'm on to the last drip. I hope I have enough paint left. I've used the whole bottle on this squishy. I paint the drip, I connect the top on both sides, so all the drips connect. I add the sprinkles, and here's another pink marshmallow. I've done it before, so I just put it on, and it didn't move this time. I added another sprinkle, and on the box it goes to dry. And that is all the drips finished. The squishy is slowly getting made. And here is a sneak peek at what I'm drawing, and that's 4 crazy milkshakes. The crazy clay milkshake, a picture of it, the squishy I'm making, and now the drawing I'm also making. While I create this squishy, I do a lot at the same time. Now that the dripping ice cream is finished, it's time to decorate the top. First I start with the lollipops and make sure the ice cream has its spot. Tim has a drill and drills into the squishy so I can add the lollipops, and it fits perfectly in. Now for the twirl lollipop and the heart lollipop. Then I check that a cream swirl will fit in between the lollipop, and now for the straw, and Tim drills a hole for the straw and I put it in. And now to see where to glue this ice cream. It's the biggest food to put on this squishy, so I'm going to use glue. I see where it will go and test if the food has enough room behind it to go all the way around. Okay, let's glue it in place. I hold it for ages and it's barely hanging on. The paint worked a lot better, but I didn't want to risk putting white all over the chocolate ice cream because I don't have another one. So we add more glue and I keep holding it. Then I lean it against the drill and I let it set. It's all dry and nothing is falling off. I start with a rainbow gummy bear. Then I grab the crazy clay milkshake so I know exactly where to put it. It's meant to look as close as I can to the clay version. I get the other rainbow gummy bear and I see where it should go. Then I get the paint and it's the last of the paint. There is nothing left after this. I got some on a paintbrush and I put it on the squishy. I put the rainbow gummy bear in its spot and I accidentally put white paint on the chocolate ice cream, the one thing I was trying to avoid. I add a white marshmallow next to the gummy bear. Then I rub off the paint on the ice cream and it actually comes off this clay really easily. Then I add the other rainbow gummy bear and another white marshmallow, but the other one is bigger, so I switch the marshmallows around. And this rainbow gummy bear keeps moving. It keeps falling down the popcorn. Okay, it's staying there for now. Now for a rainbow M&M. I put it on, but the paint isn't holding it. I'm going to need some glue on this. I add some glue and it's just holding on. The rainbow M&M is standing up and I let it set. It's a new day. I get the paint and the milkshake and I try to get any paint out, but there is nothing left. So I get a different white paint out and I put paint behind the chocolate ice cream. Now it's time to add the blue M&M and the red M&M. I carefully put it on and balance them standing up. Now for an orange gummy bear and I get some more paint. Then I add a yellow marshmallow and a purple gummy bear, and then my red M&M fell off. I need to balance everything standing up. Okay, it's all on for now. Now for it to dry. It's a new day and I get the food out that I'm going to add. I'm going to add a rainbow gummy bear and some rainbow chocolate chips. Then I put down the squishy milkshake I turn the clay milkshake around and then I see the cream swirls. I get them out as well. Then I put the white paint on the squishy. Now it's time to keep decorating this crazy squishy milkshake. I add the white cream swirl, then the rainbow gummy bear, and it keeps slipping. I add the rainbow chocolate chips, then the other cream swirls, and I keep trying to put this rainbow gummy bear on a spot where it doesn't fall. I fix up the purple chocolate chip and I lean it up, and hopefully it all stays together. It's a new day. Everything has stayed, nothing has fallen off. Now to keep decorating all the way around the crazy squishy milkshake, I get some white paint and I put it on the areas that I'm going to put the clay food on. First I get a white marshmallow and I carefully balance it on. Then I get my sprinkle plate and I put some sprinkles in the correct spots that match the crazy clay milkshake. And I keep going around putting all the food on. Now it's time for the yellow gummy bear, and then more sprinkles. Then I put the crazy squishy milkshake down and I get some more paint. I'm slowly going all the way around and back to more sprinkles. I use my finger to place the sprinkles, but my long nails keep getting in the way. So I get my tweezers to help put the sprinkles in the correct spot, and it just keeps falling. Maybe I need more paint. I put more paint on, then I add more sprinkles and I keep going around. And then my yellow gummy bear falls off. I don't think there was enough paint where that gummy bear was, so I add more paint and I put the gummy bear back on. Then more sprinkles, then tweezers to help, then more paint. Now it's time for another marshmallow. I go to put it on. There's no paint there. Let's put everything down and get more paint. I really need more hands. I put the paint on. Now to add this marshmallow. It's hanging right on the edge. I hope it stays. And back to adding more sprinkles, then more paint. Now for a green gummy bear, and more sprinkles. You can't have enough sprinkles. Then I get my tweezers again, because I have to put it in between two bigger foods. Now for a pink marshmallow, then more sprinkles. Now for the strawberries. I add one strawberry, then I realized a sprinkle needs to go behind it. Let's add that now before I put the other strawberries on. The strawberry is in the way, so I get my tweezers to help the sprinkle get in the correct spot. And then I put the other two strawberries on, and then more sprinkles. Now for a yellow marshmallow. Wait, there's no paint there. I add the paint and then the yellow marshmallow. Then you guessed it, more sprinkles. Now for the blue gummy bear. Don't fall, it's hanging on. Now for a bit more paint to finish off the rest. I add some more sprinkles and the last marshmallow. I put the crazy squishy milkshake down, and it looks pretty good. I notice the sprinkle has moved. I get the tweezers and I put it in the correct spot. Now the strawberries keep moving. I put the milkshake down again and I get some more paint. I put some paint where the strawberries go, and then I put the strawberries back on the spot, and it looks pretty good. Now to let all of that dry, because I have one more step. I have to use glue to put sprinkles on all the food, all over the crazy squishy milkshake. I can't use paint this time because then all the food would be white. And here's a photo of 4 crazy clay milkshakes together. The crazy clay milkshake I made, a photo of the crazy clay milkshake so I can look at it to draw it, the crazy clay squishy milkshake I'm still making now, and the drawing, which you will see in a few weeks. Here's a little sneak peek of it for you now. Now for the last day, it's time to glue on the sprinkles because I can't use paint, or it will look like there is paint all over the food, and then you won't see the food and it will all be covered in paint. This is the trickiest part of the whole crazy milkshake because I have long nails and I need to find something else to use to put the sprinkles on. So I found this long stick and I put glue on the end, and I pushed the glue on the rainbow swirl lollipop. Then I pushed a sprinkle on using tweezers, and it took a while because the glue kept drying so fast and it wouldn't go on the lollipop. But I ended up finishing the first side of the rainbow swirl lollipop. Now it's time to add sprinkles to the rainbow heart lollipop. I put the glue on the lollipop, then I go to push the sprinkle on and it falls off. Let's try that again. Okay, that sprinkle is on now, but the glue just kept drying too fast. So now I'm going to use a glue stick and see how that works. I know it's not going to be very strong, but I need something to work. I use the glue stick on the sprinkle, then I push it on the lollipop and it stays. Okay, now onto the twirl lollipop. I'm using a light so I know which colour sprinkle goes where. I don't want to mess it up now, I'm so close to finishing. Now the lollipops are finished, on one side anyway. Then I put a sprinkle on the marshmallow and the strawberry. And now for sprinkles all the way around the straw. Now for sprinkles on the chocolate ice cream and the cone. Every sprinkle that is on the Crazy Clay Milkshake has to be on the Crazy Clay Squishy Milkshake. It's taking a while, but I'm slowly going all the way around the ice cream, putting sprinkles everywhere. Then I put sprinkles on the M&Ms, gummy bears, and marshmallows, and I'm going around the milkshake, putting sprinkles on everything. Now for sprinkles on the other side of the lollipops, and I turn the squishy milkshake around one last time to make sure I haven't missed any sprinkles. And the sprinkles are finished! But it's not finished yet. I let that dry. And then later in the day, I come back and I glue the handle on. It has to have a handle or it won't match the original Crazy Clay Milkshake. I thought the handle would move or fall off because it is a lot bigger, but it stayed on straight away and didn't move. And there it is. It's finally finished and you can squish it. Here is my Crazy Clay Squishy Milkshake that looks just like my Crazy Clay Milkshake. What do you think? Tell me in the comments. It all started as a simple popcorn squishy, and then I turned it into a Crazy Clay Squishy Milkshake. Hey guys, so this is the Crazy Clay Squishy Milkshake that I made. And it has everything that I have on the Crazy Clay Milkshake, and this one is the exact same, but this one is a squishy, and it's all made out of a popcorn squishy, and the rest is all clay things that I made. But it's with soft air dry clay, not the original modelling clay that I've been using on the Crazy Clay Milkshake. Tell me what you think in the comments. Is this one cooler than the Crazy Clay one? Or is this cooler because it's a squishy? Thanks for watching. Bye guys. And here I am holding the Crazy Clay Squishy Milkshake. Here's the Crazy Clay Squishy Milkshake. It has all the same things on it as the Crazy Clay Milkshake. It has the chocolate ice cream and the waffle cone, rainbow swirl lollipops, a straw, gummy bears, M&Ms, marshmallows, strawberries, dripping ice cream, sprinkles everywhere, and of course a handle so it matches the original Crazy Clay Milkshake. Tell me what you think in the comments, and do you think it looks like the original Crazy Clay Milkshake? Hey guys, I'm going to be turning this popcorn squishy into this crazy milkshake. Do you think this will be able to look like this? And here I am with the popcorn squishy, how it started, and the Crazy Clay Milkshake that I made the popcorn squishy look like. And here's the popcorn squishy and the original Crazy Clay Milkshake. I got the idea of making a squishy version from my Crazy Clay Milkshake. I thought it would be fun to squish, and I love making all different types of the same thing so you can see how it's different but still the same. Did you think the popcorn squishy would look like the Crazy Clay Milkshake in the end? Hey guys, so these are my two Crazy Clay Milkshakes, but one of them is a squishy. I made this squishy Crazy Clay Milkshake that looks just like the Crazy Clay Milkshake that I made before. I wanted it to match so you can see the difference. It's got all the exact same things on it. It's just this one is a squishy and this one is all made out of modelling clay. Tell me what you think in the comments and which one is your favourite. Thanks for watching. Bye guys. And here I am with the two Crazy Clay Milkshakes. The original Crazy Clay Milkshake on the right and the squishy Crazy Clay Milkshake on the left. Did you think it would look the same? And here's the two Crazy Clay Milkshakes together. Do you think they look the same? They all have the same food on them and the same coloured sprinkles. I made sure everything on the original Crazy Clay Milkshake was on the squishy one, or it wouldn't be the same. Which one do you like more, the Crazy Clay Squishy Milkshake or the original Crazy Clay Milkshake? Tell me in the comments. Hey guys, so I turned this popcorn squishy into this Crazy Clay Squishy Milkshake, and it looks just like this Crazy Clay milkshake, and it's got everything the exact same, all the sprinkles, the lollipops, the straw, the handle. It's just this one is a squishy and this one is made out of clay, and it all started with a popcorn squishy. Tell me what you think in the comments. Thanks for watching. Bye guys. Here I am with all three. It started as a popcorn squishy, and I had the idea of turning my Crazy Clay milkshake into a squishy version, and I did. It looks just like my Crazy Clay milkshake, and it has all the same food on it, but this one squishes. Here are the three together. It all started when I made the Crazy Clay milkshake. Then I came up with the idea to turn a popcorn squishy into my Crazy Clay squishy milkshake, and now I have. What do you think of my creative, unique idea? I turned a squishy popcorn into a crazy squishy milkshake. Can you believe it was once a popcorn squishy, but not anymore? Tell me what you think in the comments. And here's the Crazy Clay squishy milkshake spinning around. And photos of it spinning around. And here's some bloopers for you all. Hey guys. From a popcorn squishy to a Crazy Clay squishy milkshake. I hope you like this video, and make sure you come back next week because I have another very creative idea of making a board game, one of my own, and then I get to play it. So make sure you come back next week to check that out. Yours the crazy cake?
It is!
Yay!
Well done. I've got no idea what yours is. I've still got 2 rows to go. I have no idea.
Guess.
I can't really guess. There's too many options. Is it Olaf?
Yes. How did he guess that?
Oh!
Thanks for watching. Bye guys.
Wave to subscribers. Yeah.
Make sure you subscribe to my YouTube channel, Michelle Surge, and you can follow me on all my different social medias, Instagram and TikTok, which is Cookie Mish Surge, eBay, Etsy and Facebook, where you can buy all of my artist and music merch, Shine Like a Star Mish. Thanks for watching. Come back next week for another video, and don't forget to like, comment and subscribe to Michelle Surge. Bye guys.